Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for tuning in, everybody. So we just put gas in it for the first time, and there she is. What do you think? This is gonna be first startup, first everything. I cannot wait to try it. The name of it is JOKESTER. It's kind of got Joker colors, but it's not real purple and not really that green. So I went with JOKESTER because I really wasn't going for that theme, but when it came out, that's kind of what it looked like. So I got mostly purple accents. They were all supposed to match, but as you can see, the brakes don't really match the pedals don't match the rotors, and it don't match the grip, whatever. It all is basically the same. It all looks good. Only thing I have an issue with, I got to order more, is the sheathing was not long enough. It doesn't bind up, but it gets close. So that's it. So we are about to prime the system and pedal it for the very first time to see how it goes. If you don't mind, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Most important, leave me a comment on what you think about the bike, because I am super amped about this right now, and let's get started. Oh, she's leaking already. Not really sure why, but the carb is definitely leaking at the present moment really badly. All right, we shut the fuel off, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. I didn't figure out why it's leaking. I have a good idea on why it's leaking. I think this carburetor always leaks. It has a messed up bottom seal, so I gotta look at it close, but easy enough fix.
Just cut, peel, stick and seal.
This is just put a different carburetor on it. We're gonna pop that bad boy off, and we're gonna pop this bad girl on. Fuel is on, and it should be primer up. There goes fuel pouring out, and there goes the fuel stopping. Okay guys, it is go time. I just gotta clean my mess up a little bit. Okay, cleaning up the mess. I am so nervous, guys. I know that's weird, but I put a lot of effort into this bike, and I am nervous. Oh boy, she rides real nice, guys. I gotta move the handlebars, they're a little off, and it's not starting, so I gotta figure that out. Doesn't even sound like it wants to fire. Okay guys, so I have tested for spark. I have no spark, so that's definitely a problem. The coil that was in this motor originally went into the YD100, so that's why I don't have a good coil. Now the one I just put in here is brand new, like literally just took it out of the package, but I'm not getting any spark. So I really quickly, I have another brand new CDI. The CDI on here is also brand new. So I tested another CDI with the coil that's on here real quick, see what's going on. I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting any spark. So only thing I can think then is it's got to be the coil. Kind of a bummer, because like I said, the coil is brand new. So we're going to take the coil out. I got another brand new one that we're going to replace it with, and we're going to try again. And then we're going to write the people on Amazon and be like, yo,
what the heck?
So let's get this going first, and then we can figure out what's the next deal, right? Because without spark, can't get no bang. Without no bang, can't ride my bike. And let me tell you something, this thing, it just feels nice and stiff and firm when you're riding it. Real smooth. The front suspension, the rear suspension, I only rode it up and down the block, but what a nice feel so far. Oh, also, I don't think I showed you this. Look at the kill switch. I took a regular old throttle and I just cut it all down and just left the part that holds and clamps to the handlebars so I could still reach it and have a good kill switch all wired up. So that's wired real good. That's nice. Really happy with that. Everything is really great on here. I love the way the bike feels as a whole. I think I need to put a little more air in the rear tire, but it's good for now. Let's just get this thing started. I'm a little bummed that it didn't start first try, but wouldn't be Johnny's Motorized Bicycles without a little bit of drama. So let's get this off and try again, right? Right. Okay, I put the new coil on. Let's see if I got spark now. Please, 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 please let me have some spark. We got spark. Oh, I don't know, can you see it even? I'll try to zoom in for you, but let me block it. I don't know if you can see it there. Hopefully you can, but we are good to go. So now put everything back together, and now we try it again. Also, I closed the gap up. The gap was huge on this plug. Now we just got to run all the wires again, zip tie everything shut, and we're good to go. It's a shame, that brand new coil, no good. Luckily I had a couple extra here. I definitely got part of that bad batch. I had one good one, and then I had a bunch that keep blowing or being faulty. Like the one on tweaker I replaced twice now since I put the YD on there. Before that, I never replaced coils. I don't go through coils like that. I know James Picone, I'm not really sure if I'm saying this, I'm definitely not saying his name right, but James, he's got a channel. He was talking about, he put a community post up talking about a bunch of bad CDIs or coils and stuff. All right, from this point on, I do get it started, and there's still just something not 100% right, and I'm just unhappy with it. I built this bike to be awesome and fun, and I put a lot of money into it, and by a lot, I mean a couple $100, which is a lot for me. So I figure, you know what, I did everything else, I put new everywhere else and all this other stuff. I'm gonna go all in and get myself what I've always wanted to try. So let's get to the next scene, because that's where the fun really starts and turns Jokester into the Jokester I ride today. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for tuning in to Johnny's Motorized Bicycles. So, as always guys, I would love for you guys to do me a favor and smash the like button and the subscribe button, which is cool, great, wonderful. Most importantly guys, I need you to leave me a comment. I'm down to like 12 comments a video. Nobody leaves a comment anymore because maybe I don't talk about it, because it was one of the things I used to talk about all the time and I assumed everyone understood. It just continued, but since it seems like people have forgotten to just type a little comment, please by all means stay in touch with me. All right, reach out to a brother. Also, if you'd like to keep the conversation going, don't forget about Johnny's Motorized Bicycles Facebook group. There was a link in the description right below the video. You can just head over there, click that, and shoot you right over to Facebook. Okay, anyway, more importantly, and what this video is actually about, is this. So as you know, I'm retiring Tweaker. So Tweaker I've had for about a year and 2 months, give or take. That's my daily. I got, I don't know, it's probably somewhere near 15,000 miles on it, I'm assuming, over the summer. I ride that thing everywhere. I don't have an odometer, but when you do the math on how far work is and how many times I go to the mailbox a week, and to get a ballpark estimate on, you know, I lowballed it. I'm pushing 15 easy. So anyway, I'm building a new bike because Tweaker needs to be gone through, and you guys have seen the new bike. Most likely. I didn't record that much about the build of it because I was kind of just into the build. Whatever. Okay, so I put my old school iron sleeve on there, completely refurbished and stuff with a new piston and rings. I had just rebuilt it about a month prior and blew the piston up in it, so I just put a new piston and rings in it. But something's going on with it. So one of the bolts in the back on the mount, it's stripped. I was able to put a longer bolt in and it grabbed, but I'm not comfortable with it. Not to mention, I decided everything on that bike is pretty much brand new, and I bought a lot of things. I got a good job now, and I spent a little bit of money on it. I mean, you know, probably a couple $100. So I decided to just throw care to the wind and go all in and buy myself a new motor. That's right, a brand new motor. Look, it comes with a new gas tank, new everything, okay? And I bought the motor I've always wanted. What motor have I always wanted, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. You all know the YD100 is by far my favorite motor, hands down, just for everyday use and whatnot. For ripping around, you get some good power out of them, good speed, good torque, all that crap. Now, that's what's on my daily Tweaker as we speak. Now, the thing is for my daily, I really like the PK100, the 100cc with the 49mm piston. It's really like a 79 or 78cc, whatever. But the main thing about it is I like the iron sleeve. I like having the steel sleeve inside of the cylinder because it just has longevity that way. So, like, for instance, the one that I just rebuilt and then literally I revved it up too high and I blew the piston, didn't destroy the cylinder. It destroyed the rings and the piston and put a small gouge in the thing, but it's so small, literally a hone job fixes it. So 90% of the time, if you blow your motor up, you're just going to destroy the aluminum piston and the rings, something along those lines, instead of the entire cylinder, so you don't got to replace everything. For a daily, I find that to be really nice. So normally I try to run the iron sleeve 49mm. Now, most of the life of Tweaker, I'd say probably almost a year of the whole time I've had it. I've only had the YD on there for, well, I guess it was a little bit of time now. It was almost 3 months, whole summer just about. So for most of the life, I had the Iron Sleeve 49 on there, and I just put the YD on there. But with my new bike, Jokester, I want an Iron Sleeve, but I really like the YD 100. Now there is one other stock motor out there that is very similar to the YD 100 and has an Iron Sleeve, and that's this CDH110. Now, is this a CDH? I have no freaking clue. I bought this on Amazon. I went for the cheapest one I could find, of course, and I got it. It actually has, look, it has a serial number on it. I'm gonna assume the IWMC is the name of the company, and then 2022-07115. I'm thinking 2022 is probably the year, 07 is probably the month it was made. So it was made in July of this year, right? Sure. I gotta go through this. I'm gonna completely crack it open, take it completely apart, clean the ports up, all that stuff. One thing I noticed right off the bat that I'm upset about, they gave me a standard intake. In the picture, and from my understanding, is this is supposed to come with the PZ20 or PZ19 clone and the manifold that fits it. So I did get a Bofang carburetor, this is my first one. So I mean, that's cool. Not exactly what I wanted. I really wanted the clone to go on here. I actually already wrote Amazon about it because that's the one I really want. See what happens. I highly doubt I'll get it, but you never know. It's always a possibility, right? Anyway, so we're gonna crack this open, and I'll bring you back in when I do. I'm gonna crack it open. I'm gonna check all the ports. I'm gonna check all the port timings. I'm gonna check everything. We're gonna go through it fully. Now, with all that being said, I literally just got back with this. I just opened it up. I just put it on the table, and I am just getting to see it for the first time. So whatever, I just want to start fresh, but I really wanted to start with this 52. I've been wanting to have one of these since they came out. They came out around the same time as the Phantom, and I have no interest in the Phantom, I'm going to be honest with you. I have interest in building my own Phantom out of the chainsaw steel, which I still have over there. I just haven't done it yet because life, but I am most interested in this one if I was going to buy a motor, just because it's so much like the YD100 as far as looks go, and I am a YD fan, and I just like the whole thing they got going on here. I think it could use a little bit of tweaking. I know LA Hover had one of these, and he got good performance out of his after he basically did a whole bunch of work to it because it's just dirty on the inside. And I think I can definitely duplicate the power he received and then some once I put the wheel on this and we see where we're at. So let's get started. I'm gonna break it apart. I'll let you know how we look. So I broke it open. I got measurements. I'll give you a quick rundown. Stock numbers. Now this is completely stock with the gaskets and everything. Intake, we have a 124 duration. Opens at 62, closes at 62. Not bad. Intake's not horrible at all. Transfers. Now the transfers, just like LA Hovers, the transfers are way different left to right. Now I only measure one side because I make them equal regardless, so I didn't measure left and right, but I measured the worst side out of both of them just because that's the right side of the motor, which is to my left, so it just makes it a little easier for me to read that particular one. So the duration for the transfers, especially the worst one, is 90 degrees. That's horrible. The exhaust, 141 degrees of duration. Now that's not horrible for a stock motor, but we could definitely improve on that. The blowdown is 15. I don't have goals for this. What my goal for this is, I'm gonna open it up to the actual aluminum port. So all I'm going to do is open everything up to the port that's already there with the aluminum, you know, the actual cylinder, since this is a cast iron sleeve, meaning they pour it in and then bore it out, and that's what's left. So I'm just going to open them up to the actual ports. Now the piston, cut reliefs in it, and I have to cut the ears off the cert clips. Something else that I was not expecting at all, and I'm kind of shocked about, to be honest with, it has 3 piston rings. Now I'm gonna leave all 3 piston rings on there. I'm not doing this for crazy high speed and whatnot. I'll get my speed out of it with my 38.2 sprocket and whatnot. I really want to climb a hill with 0 effort from a low speed and pull in my trailer. That's what I go for. So that's what I'm going to go for with this. Pretty positive the old BT100 and BT80s, they had 3 rings. I don't know from knowing firsthand, but I'm pretty sure they did. So either way, I'm going to pop off this piston. I'm going to do the clearance for the ear so I can get the cert clip out easy. I'm also going to clean it up just a little bit. I am going to skirt it, and other than that, that's about it. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on what I did. So our numbers, intake is 140 duration, up from a 124 duration. The transfers are a 115 duration, up from a 90 duration. And the exhaust is 162, like I said, up from a 141. Our blowdown is now 24. Squish is about 0.7, 0.8. Let me show you the stuff what I did here. So that's the intake. I also skirted the piston. That's all I did. Now you see the lip on the right there? That's going towards the exhaust. So I left the lip in the sleeve and then I opened up the intake. I mean for the intake side. Same thing with this, left the lip on the left, which is the exhaust side, and opened it up towards the intake. Now to see how they flow, what I do is I take it to the faucet and I let the faucet go directly down the middle and I watch which way the water comes out of here and sprays. The water pooled here basically, but sprayed out that way. Same thing with this side. So I'm really happy with that. You can see the piston skirted just a little. All in all, everything's good. I surfaced everything. Everything is decked and surfaced outside of the case. It looks really good now. Nice, clean surface. I know LA Hover did a mirror finish, and I had someone actually comment when I said I'm getting this motor saying you got to bring it to a mirror finish, blah, 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 to get any power out of it. That's not true. Maybe you understood what he was doing. The reason he took it to a mirror finish is because he was using a soda can to seal the head to get a proper squish because of the way he was building his motor, which there's many ways to skin a cat, you know what I'm saying? So that's how he wanted to get his squish instead of decking this or that. That's on him. It doesn't matter to me none. High mirror finish is not necessary. I do bring it to 220 grit, which is more than enough to get a good seal, in my opinion. The squish does help your performance as a whole, but the way you get your squish is different. I prefer to get my squish from decking the head and the cylinder and using a stock gasket, whatnot. Also, I think his gasket might have been different than the one that came with this kit. I know the intake manifold and carburetor are supposed to be like a PZ19 or a PZ20 clone. This came with a regular Bofang and regular intake manifold. I'm going to get this completely back together, and I guess we'll take it from there. This is all in all though, I like the build quality. I think there's obviously corners cut assembling it, but the actual product is very nice, and if you take a little bit of time to make it right, I think you have a really, really nice product here. I have a feeling this is going to be much more fun than the Phantom. I've never had the Phantom, never rode a Phantom, but I'm going to go on a ledge here and say that I'd rather this than the Phantom. That's why I bought this one. I think you can build a Phantom, sure, but I think the idea behind what I'm going for, with the steel sleeve, it's got a roller bearing, everything, this is 100% the right way to go. So, very excited about that. Okay, she is back together. All in all, everything is done. The exhaust and gasket, that is already on the bike. I'll just use what's there. I put the new plug in, put the carb on. I'm going to use everything that they gave me, coil included. The only thing that won't be is the CDI, because I want to leave that one that's on there. If it works, fine. It should. It's brand new. If not, I'll put the one that came with the kit. Other than that, everything's good. I did tighten the preload up on the mainspring, so we should be good to go there. Okay, guys, so we are going to try and put the new motor on here, hopefully without breaking anything. I make no promises. First things first, let's get the old motor off and let's get the new motor on. Okay, I think I got everything on and ready to go. I got old girl on the ground. We'll have to go through that and find out what's going on with this case bolt. If you look, see how this one's much longer? I had to put a much longer bolt in here just for it to grab the deeper threads, and I have a feeling that it is cracked in there or something's going on outside of it just being stripped. So I have to go through it. Something is 100% right when I put it back together. It's a shame because this thing was really making some steam, but that's okay. We'll get it right, and honestly, that will probably go back on tweaker.
Okay, everything is hooked up, I believe. Clutch is on, throttle's hooked up, exhaust is hooked up, carb is hooked up, spark plug's hooked up. I think everything is hooked up. Chain's hooked up. Fuel is hooked up.
The only thing left to do is take her for a spin. This is the first time I'm firing up, oh, that's a wet seat. First time I'm firing up this motor ever since it's brand new. Yep, it's firing. Sounds rich because it wants to stall out right away. For a brand new motor to just chug away like that, that's pretty good. Now, like I said, it's brand new, so we are not gonna run it fast, run it hard. We're just gonna run it, see how it does. I'm already very impressed. This is a 38 two-sprocket. I'm 270-ish pounds, probably closer to 280, plus the bike. And I pulled away there at a very low speed, and it just pulls away. The torque on this thing is silly. I gotta turn the throttle up some. Come to a stop. Let's see if I can actually make this a little bit higher revving. There you go. A little bit of a high idle, but that's okay with me. Really good throttle response. Now let's see, I want to take off from a dead stop. Okay, I am one pedal, two pedals, so I'm just rolling. Away. Wow, like nothing. That wasn't full throttle, that wasn't revving it out, dragging the clutch a lot, it just pulled. Eliaber was right when he said that, man. He's like, you could just cruise around at a low speed and this thing just putts, and he's not kidding. This thing is just putting along. That's about quarter, third throttle maybe, pulls right away. Jet might be a little small, to be honest, because it's acting lean. How is this revved up? I do have to go over real quick and tighten all the bolts to make sure we're good. Now that we got a good heat cycle in it.
Alright guys, I'm just going to give you a quick what's going on here. So you hear it surging, it sounds like it's maybe an air leak, but there is 0 air leaks on this motor. Although the motor is running incredibly well, it is running lean. So you hear it really, I can hear it really when I'm full throttle and give it all the beans, and it's just bogging out a little bit. So I have a stock jet in the carburetor because it's the Bofang that came with the kit. I decide to change it out because I don't have the jets for the Bofang, even though I was told that they are probably the Predator jets will fit. But either way, I wasn't going to go buy a bunch of jets when I already have a whole bunch of those speed carburetors just laying around in a box and a bunch of jets for them. So I grabbed one of them and I put a new 75 jet in it, and it works perfectly. I ride it back and forth to work a whole bunch of times, putting some real mileage on it. By the time you see the next video on this bike, which should be the next video I put up, although I am thinking about putting a little bit something retro in the mix because I found some lost footage, so I guess it's not lost anymore. Either way, I put that on and I put at least 2.5 gallons of fuel through the bike, and considering the next video is only 3 days after the video you're currently watching, to say I put near 3 gallons of fuel in 3 days, that's a good bit of riding. So I put a lot of miles on this bike in the very beginning of having it. Even still to this day, I put a lot of miles on it. So get ready to watch all those mileage getting put onto the bike. I'm just glad you guys were able to be here for the build. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the build. Let me know what you think of the motor. I'm sorry I didn't get more in-depth with the actual building and all the tuning and everything and the port work on this particular bike, but I was so into just building it and wanting to get it done because it was the first bike I was able to really build 100% for me and my size. I was just into building the bike, so I didn't put that much into the actual filming process. But I do have a lot of filming coming from this bike, and you'll see it in plenty of videos, pulling trailers, riding, and all that stuff. Plus, the next 2 or 3 videos is going to have the new footage with the 360 camera, and the new GoPro Hero 7 that I had will be coming up really soon in all those videos too. So don't forget, leave me a comment to let me know what you think, but also on your way out, hit the like button for me because it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And hit the subscribe button so you know you're going to get notifications when you hit that bell every time I put one of my amazing videos up, even though they are not exactly amazing, but they are entertaining sometimes. So hit the bell, leave me a comment, go down in the description right below the video. Click the link. That's for the Facebook group, Johnny's Motorized Bicycles. There's going to be a link also for the Facebook group chat, also right below that one in the description, and everything else that's in the description that I put down there on the regular email and address and what have you. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace. 30 miles an hour. This is a really nice cruising speed. Well, honestly, it feels a little fast for what I'm used to. This is usually a cruising speed for when I'm in a rush, but the bike just likes to sit here, to be honest. Somewhere between 28 and 30, it really, really likes. So nice and so smooth and vibration free. The motor runs really, really nice because it's got no vibrations going on. Very happy with the build. I'm really happy with the way it came out. All right, guys, that's it. That's it. We're home. I mounted the new motor. It's the iron sleeve